the SEO's introduction to rendering. Let's start this out with a bang. Googlebot isn't what you think. SEO professionals refer to Googlebot with a strange form of reverence reserved in prior generations for all-knowing deities and unseen powers. It's dramatic, gives flair to a story, but oversimplifies the true identity of Googlebot. Googlebot is simply a user agent. It is the identifier of a request, a fancy version of caller ID. Once the request receives a response, Googlebot's job is over and it's off to request the next URI. The collected response runs through a series of services and processes before it appears in SERP. The scrappy user agent gets all the glory, but we need to talk about the heavy hitter, the hidden construct that builds your site for Google to experience it as a human would, rendering. What is rendering? Rendering is the process where Googlebot retrieves your pages, runs your code, and assesses your content to understand the layout or structure of your site. All the information Google collects during the rendering process is then used to rank the quality and value of your site content against other sites and what people are searching for with Google search. Every web page has two states, rendering occurs between them. Every web page has two states. A website can be very different between the two states. The initial HTML occurs first. It is the response from the server. In it is HTML and links to resources like JavaScript, CSS, and images that are needed to build to the page. To see the initial HTML for yourself, view the page source. Rendered HTML is more widely known as the DOM, an abbreviation of Direct Object Model. Every web page has a DOM. It represents the initial HTML plus any changes made by JavaScript that HTML called on. To view the DOM, open Browser's Developer Tools in your browser and click the Console tab. If you're looking to easily spot the difference between the two, tools like Chrome extension View Rendered Source will highlight lines that change from one state to the other. Knowing the difference between HTML and DOM is the key to troubleshooting JS SEO. When content changes between initial HTML and DOM, it's client-side JavaScript changing page. JavaScript can be executed elsewhere, but we'll address that later. These changes indicate that JavaScript is being executed in the user's browser. When JavaScript executed in the user's browser, we call it client-side rendering, CSR. This puts your web page at risk. If something goes wrong during execution, those JavaScript changes might never happen. JavaScript is a complex process and the most expensive resource on your site. Sounds like a dev problem, right? It isn't. SEO professionals have substantial skin in the game. Google cannot index what it cannot render. In order to rank, we have to be indexed. In order to be indexed, we have to be rendered. If content can for more on this story, visit the news article link.